spoken about emotional intelligence in episode 5. We spoke about what it is, what are the benefits, and what are the components of emotional intelligence. 40% of educators get rejected in the interviews. There is one criteria that they miss upon, which is EQ, emotional intelligence. In today's video, we would be talking about different scenarios and strategies that educators can implement in their classrooms to actually handle different key stakeholders like parents, management, and students.
Mr. Sharma is a dedicated teacher with 10 plus years of experience. But he's facing challenge with one of his students named Rahul. Rahul creates a lot of nuisance in the classroom and disturbs all the students. When Mr. Sharma tries to contact Rahul, he does not talk at all. Moreover, the whole class is getting disturbed by the behavior of Rahul.
Now, usually being an educator, what would you do in this scenario? I'm sure you would actually hand over the case to the school counselor. But what if I tell you there's another strategy that you can implement? Now, this strategy is called restorative circle. You can create a group of students who are close to that student. Now, in this case, you can pick upon students who are very close to Rahul. You can delegate these responsibility to them to understand how Rahul behaves once he's outside the classroom, probably in the breaks or once they head towards the house. Now they observe his reactions, responses, and identify the root cause of his behavior, and they report to you. Now you, being an educator, have the responsibility of collaborating with the school counselor to handle the student patiently and empathetically. This is called restorative circle strategy.
It's parents teachers meeting today. Mrs. Kapoor is the kindergarten teacher having a discussion with Mrs. Mehta, whose daughter is studying in the same classroom. Mrs. Mehta is putting allegation on Mrs. Kapoor for a biased approach and asking her that because of her negligence, her daughter is not able to perform at all. She is comparing her daughter's performance with other students in the class who are doing pretty well. Now she starts shouting at the daughter and also starts shouting at Mrs. Kapoor.
Now, as an educator, what would you do in such scenario? Would you get impulsive and react? Or would you use an alternative strategy to handle that kind of a parent? Well, let me talk about one of the strategies that you can implement while handling a parent like that, which is called LEAPS model. Well, LEAPS model states you have to be an active listener. You have to listen to the problem of a parent empathetically and patiently. Once you've heard the problem, that's where you go and empathize. Empathy is a key to emotional intelligence. You have to be empathetic because the parent is already upset. Moving ahead, you have to ask them the right questions. Ask why student is struggling. What are the obstacles that he's facing? Why he's not able to progress? Now, once you've identified the causes, you go ahead and paraphrase what you've understood out of the conversation. Paraphrase the areas that he needs to improve upon and also the struggles that he's facing. Once that is done, summarize. Summarize with the solutions. Talk about the strengths of a child to the parent and also the areas of improvements that you have to work collaboratively with the parent so that the student can progress in his academics and can show positive results.
In a school, head of department have asked maths teacher Mr. Sharma and science teacher Mr. Khan to take a robotics class for 12th standard. Both of them are teaching their respective subject in context of robotics. In middle of the session, both of them have an argument. Mr. Sharma wants to include a strict discipline strategy with the students, while Mr. Khan wants to have a student-centric approach. Both of them are having conflict in the classroom, and students are not able to concentrate.
Generally, educators think that emotional intelligence plays important role only when dealing with management, parents or students. But they forget that emotional intelligence plays very crucial role when dealing with their co-educators or colleagues as well. Well, imagine if educators can empathize, can understand and work collaboratively with colleagues, they can actually strategize different techniques for the betterment of the students. At the same time, people at the leadership role, the stakeholders who are in the management, they can also implement team building activities. In day-to-day functioning of the schools, teachers can collaboratively do a lot of projects, assignments, probably have fun together so that they can have better understanding with each other. Also, the management or stakeholders who are at the leadership role should implement team building activities amongst educators so that at the time of conflict, educators empathize with each other, understand each other, and work collaboratively to make strategies and techniques for students in the classroom.
Ritu has recently joined as an assistant teacher in a school. After 3 to 4 months, she is feeling exhausted, burnout, as administration is giving her extra responsibilities without any transparency. She has to stay at school sometimes 2 to 3 hours extra than her daily routine. She is facing symptoms of sleeplessness and that is also impacting her mental health. This is also impacting her lessons and interaction in the classroom with students.
As a new teacher, it's very difficult for Ritu to actually handle this situation. As an educator, it is very important for educators to develop certain skills around time management and task allocation. At the same time, educators must reach out to the school counselors and learn strategies how they can handle mental stress and also look into their well-being. On the management part, it is very crucial for management to conduct mental health workshops for educators. Also, while allocating work to the teachers or educators, it is responsibility of the management to give them clear instructions, deadlines, and also be very transparent with the task allocation.
I hope educators you were able to relate with all the characters of our case study and will be able to implement all the strategies in your classroom. Like, share, subscribe to our channel for more such content on education.